Fans of TLC's venerable reality series, The Little Couple have rekindled their fervent demands for the show's comeback in a deep wave of nostalgia and emotional connection, sparked by a rare, private snapshot just posted by Dr. Jennifer Arnold. The picture, which shows her and her husband, Bill Klein, in a private, unguarded moment, has gone viral on social media, inspiring a flood of comments from devoted fans who have been following the couple's journey for more than 10 years. When The Little Couple debuted on TLC in 2009, viewers were first captivated by Jen Arnold, a neonatologist and one of the most well-known public persons with skeletal dysplasia, and Bill Klein, a prosperous businessman who also has the condition. The program followed the married couple as they dealt with day-to-day difficulties, professional goals, health issues, and, most importantly, the transition to parenting. The show became a symbol of love, tenacity, and support for individuals with disabilities and uncommon illnesses over the course of 13 seasons. After an incredible 12-year run, the show officially ended in 2021, but its legacy has endured and continues to have a profound impact on viewers worldwide. The show offered more than simply amusement. It was a glimpse into a life that was lived with bravery, purpose, and everlasting hope. Jen and Bill were more than simply reality TV celebrities to many. They served as inspiration, mentors, and role models. Jen recently posted a picture on her Instagram account with a simple comment, "Miss you all," and it moved many. The picture shows her and Bill sitting in the warm evening light on a comfortable patio outside. They appear to be in a quiet moment of bonding as they smile and appear at ease. With his arm resting casually on the back of her chair, Bill leans slightly toward Jen, who is wearing a pastel blouse and her trademark kind expression. The scene is calm, and the mood is personal. There is merely a moment of calm between two people who have experienced life's joys and storms together. No elaborate production, no camera crew. The picture's rarity, in addition to its warmth, was what gave it such impact. Jen and Bill have purposefully distanced themselves from the spotlight in the years since the show concluded, concentrating on their personal lives, careers, and families. Their social media presence has become more selective and discreet, even though they still periodically share updates, particularly concerning their kids, Zoe and Jonah. Because of this, the recent picture seemed like a present, a modest but heartfelt act from a couple who had previously let millions of people into their most private moments. Almost instantly, remarks poured into the post's comments area. Supporters conveyed their happiness at seeing the pair again, their appreciation for the memories the show helped them make, and most all, their wish to see the little pair come back in some capacity. One user said, "Please bring the show back. You are sorely missed." Another said, "My entire week was made by that picture. Please think about trying something different. A YouTube video, a podcast, something." A third said, "You two have altered my perspective on the world. Continue telling your story." Instagram wasn't the only place where people felt this way. Fans started posting nostalgic videos, their favorite episodes, and personal accounts of how Jen and Bill affected their lives on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok with the hashtag #BringBackTheLittleCouple. Some viewers praised the pair for teaching them empathy, patience, and the genuine meaning of partnership, while others talked about how the series helped them accept their own disability. Parents of children with unusual diseases reported that Jen and Bill's adoption and parenting journeys provided them with solace and direction. A young woman with achondroplasia, the most prevalent kind of dwarfism, penned one particularly poignant message, "I felt so alone growing up. I realized I could have a full life, love, family, and career after watching Jen and Bill on television. They offered me hope. I was reminded that I'm not invisible when I saw that picture. Please return. You are still needed in the world." This broad response highlights a deeper issue than just nostalgia. It illustrates the little couple's lasting cultural relevance as well as the gap left in reality TV when sincere, instructive, and inspirational tales are marginalized in favor of sensationalism. Because Jen and Bill's tale was based on honesty, vulnerability, and respect for one another, it stood out in a time when reality TV frequently veers toward drama, conflict, and artificial tension. It was never about spectacle in their show. It didn't rely on exaggerated claims or made-up situations. Rather, it provided something that is becoming more and more uncommon, an accurate representation of marriage, parenthood, and personal development. As they went through the difficult and emotional process of adopting their daughter Zoe from China and then their son Jonah through domestic adoption, viewers watched as Jen struggled with health issues associated with her condition and Bill helped her through surgeries and recuperations. With the same pleasure and excitement as any parent, they commemorated life events like a first word, a birthday party, or a school recital, but with the extra burden of social constraints and health concerns that came with their particular situation. The show's power to normalize difference was what gave it such a powerful impact. Jen and Bill dispelled preconceived notions about individuals with dwarfism by merely living their lives on camera. They proved that a person's potential to find pleasure, prosperity, or love is not defined by their impairment. They demonstrated that a little couple could lead a big life, one that was full of accomplishment, adventure, and a strong emotional bond. They continued to have an impact even after the show finished. Jen persisted in practicing medicine and promoting improved treatment for kids with uncommon illnesses. Bill continued to be involved in community and corporate outreach, frequently discussing inclusiveness and accessibility. Together, they raised awareness of genetic illnesses and supported groups like Little People of America by using their platform. In order to assist others in navigating the adoption process, they also became champions for adoption, especially inter-country adoption. However, fans have long had a sense of loss since the show's end, despite its ongoing influence. The little couple was a dependable source of optimism in a world that was frequently tumultuous for 12 years. Its departure created a void in the audience's emotional environment as well as in television programming. Therefore, the recent image served as a catalyst for a shared yearning. Reconnecting with a moment when their narrative was being told in real time, when viewers could grow with them, learn from them, and celebrate with them, was more important than simply seeing Jen and Bill again. The thought of going back to that consistent, sincere story is incredibly alluring in a society that frequently seems disjointed and fast-paced. A resurrection doesn't have to be a conventional TV show, according to some fans. There are numerous ways for Jen and Bill to get back in touch with their audience now that digital platforms are so popular. For instance, they might be able to talk more casually about activism, relationships, parenting, and health in a podcast. Family life vlogs, behind-the-scenes videos, and informative videos regarding dwarfism and neonatology might all be found on a YouTube channel. Even a book or a speaking engagement could broaden their audience and carry on their inspirational and educational work. Others have noted that since the show's debut, the world has changed, and a return might cover new subjects like the difficulties of raising kids in the post-pandemic era, the changing landscape of disability rights, or the influence of social media on one's self-image. Now more mature and introspective than in the early seasons, Jen and Bill might provide even more profound insights. Additionally, there is their children's viewpoint. Jonah and Zoe, who were infants and toddlers when the show first aired, are now in school and increasingly conscious of their parents' public personas. The family's struggles with identity, privacy, and celebrity in the digital era might be examined in a new manner. The siblings' personal experiences growing up with dwarfism in a society that is still figuring out how to accept diversity might also be highlighted. Crucially, Jen and Bill would have to agree to any return. In previous interviews, they have stated unequivocally that their decision to leave the spotlight was deliberate and essential for the welfare of their family. The strain of continuous filming, public scrutiny, and juggling a broadcast schedule with a personal life took a toll. Jen stated in a 2021 interview that she was ready to concentrate on being a mother and a doctor without the lens of a camera, even though she was thankful for the opportunity the show offered. That need for privacy is reasonable and ought to be honored. However, the overwhelmingly positive reaction to the most recent image raises the possibility that there is a compromise, a means of telling their narrative without compromising their tranquility. Maybe the family could keep control of their story while meeting fan demand with a limited series, holiday special, or documentary-style update. Additionally, the time might be ideal for a comeback. Content that focuses on diversity, authenticity, and real-life struggles has become more and more popular in recent years. Increasingly, networks and streaming platforms are funding narratives that cover a wider variety of human experiences. In this changing media environment, the little couple might easily find a new home thanks to its existing audience and shown emotional relevance. A rebirth would also be possible from a production perspective. It's possible that the original crew, many of whom developed strong relationships with the family over the years, would be keen to go back. Technological developments in filmmaking may make the process less invasive and enable more candid, fly-on-the-wall footage. Additionally, the pair might have greater direct control over what is posted and how it is displayed on social media. However, the fundamental query still stands: why do fans wish to see the little couple return? The solution is found in what they stand for as well as in love for the people. Jen and Bill are the epitome of the following. Family is based on connection, not uniformity. Love can triumph over adversity, and strength may take various forms. Their narrative serves as a reminder of what is possible when people choose kindness, tenacity, and optimism during a time of division and uncertainty. Being small has never been the only aspect of their journey. It's about leading with purpose, loving deeply, and enjoying life to the fullest. Fans are expressing more than simply nostalgia when they say, "We miss you." They are also expressing a desire for that message to be heard once more. Thus, the picture was more than just a snapshot. It served as a symbol, a silent invitation, a glimmer of hope, and it triggered a chorus of voices saying, "Please come back," in the hearts of countless. There is little doubt that Jen and Bill's influence persists, regardless of whether they want to make a comeback to television. Their teachings on love, acceptance, and resiliency continue to have an impact on people's lives in ways they may never completely comprehend. And the world will continue to need the little couple as long as those teachings are important, as long as families still have difficulties, and as long as people are looking for tales that uplift rather than take advantage of. After all, it was never merely a performance. There was a movement, a household, a pledge that your life can have a significant impact, regardless of your size. Jen wasn't simply talking to her admirers when she wrote, "Miss you all." She was getting back in touch with the community that had grown up around her and Bill, a community that still wants to walk with them after all these years, believes in them, and supports them. And perhaps, just possibly, that will be sufficient to restore the small pair to the limelight, where they truly belong. The discussion about a possible rebirth has only intensified in the months after the photo was made public. The news has been picked up by other sites, and writers covering entertainment have begun to speculate about the likelihood of a revival. Although the network has not formally commented, several have contacted TLC for comment. Online fan petitions have started to circulate, pleading with the pair and the network to think about starting a new chapter. It is evident that Jen, Bill, and their audience still have a strong emotional bond. It has, if anything, gotten deeper with time. As the years have gone by, fans have had the opportunity to consider the show's relevance, see how it influenced their viewpoints, and acknowledge how much they still cherish the couple's presence in their lives. The little couple was educational for many, in addition to being entertaining. Viewers learned about the adoption process, medical problems such as achondroplasia and thanatophoric dysplasia, and the challenges of raising a kid with exceptional needs. It sparked discussions in hospitals, classrooms, and homes. It inspired others to glimpse the person inside and look past outward appearances. It also questioned the limited notions of success, normalcy, and attractiveness that are prevalent in the entertainment sector. Jen and Bill broke down barriers just by being fully formed people on film, complete with relationships, occupations, goals, and foibles, during a period when there was little representation of people with disabilities on television. They were the main characters in their own story, not parodies or sidekicks. It was important that they were represented. It is still important. Additionally, bringing back the little couple might make a strong statement about who belongs in the story at a time when diversity and inclusion are rightfully at the forefront of cultural discussions. The couple's story has also changed. By the end of the show's last season, their children were doing well, their family was complete, and their lives were stable. However, life goes on from there. New chapters have emerged, including personal development, health updates, and school achievements. These changes may be examined in a new series with the same warmth and candor that characterized the first one. It might also talk about how society is evolving. Discussions like mental health, family structure, and disability rights have come a long way since the start of the show. With their position and background, Jen and Bill may make a significant contribution to these discussions by sharing their personal stories and promoting legislative changes, improved access to healthcare, and increased social acceptance. Some fans have even proposed adding more voices to a new format, possibly including adoptive parents, medical professionals, or other families with tiny ones. This might turn the show from a personal story into a larger movement, highlighting a range of experiences while keeping Jen and Bill's journey at its core. The pair has the final say in the matter. The freedom to decide how much of their lives they share with the public is something they have earned. However, the tremendous reaction to a single image shows that their tale still has strength, that it may still inspire, educate, and heal. Additionally, Jen and Bill can discover a new sense of purpose by hearing the voices of others that miss them. They have always believed in using their position for good, not because they owe it to anyone. Therefore, there is still optimism even though no formal statement has been made. Fans keep posting memories, tagging the pair in romantic messages, and hoping to see Jen and Bill walking hand in hand and handling life's obstacles with comedy and grace in the future. In the meantime, the picture serves as a reminder of a life well lived, a love well earned, and a bond that endures over time and space. And Jen and Bill might be grinning somewhere, in a peaceful house full of love and joy, knowing that their tale is still being repeated after all these years. Because sometimes all it takes to remind the world that we also miss you is one picture, one caption, and one vulnerable moment.